Hello everyone, welcome to Homeschool. We have started ICSE syllabus class 8th and chemistry chapter number 1, that is matter. In our previous video, we have already discussed introduction to matter, characteristics of matter, as well as composition of matter. Okay, and after that, we have about the states of matter. Okay, so each and every matter present on earth can exist in the form of solid or liquid or gas. Okay, so solids, liquid and gas, these are called the three states of matter. Okay, say for example, water is there. Water can be available in the form of solid, yes or no? Definitely water can be available in the form of ice is a solid, and water is available in the form of liquid, like normal water, whatever we see, whatever we drink, whatever we use for the domestic purposes is in liquid state. Okay, and the same water, when you heat it, the water will escape into atmosphere in the form of vapor, isn't it? So that vapor is gas state. Okay, so matter is what here? Water. So the water can exist in the form of solid, it can exist in the form of liquid, and also it can be present in the form of gas also. Okay, and every matter you take on a planet, it can exist in one of the three states, definitely. Okay, fine. And now let us compare and study solids, liquids and gases one by one. Okay, we will discuss what property solids are showing and what property liquid is showing and what property is shown by a gas. Okay, so what we selected is the first property, mass. Okay, so does the solids have mass? Definitely they have mass, yes or no? So if you hold a solid, definitely you will feel some weight. Say for example, this is your book. So this book has a definite mass. So I'm holding this book and I feel a bit weight, yes or no, on my hand. That means it is having a mass. Definitely this has a mass. Okay, and liquid also has a mass. Say for example, this is a beaker of water I took. So when I am holding a beaker with water, I feel little heavy on my hand, yes or no? Compared to the empty beaker on a hand, the filled beaker is more heavy. It's because the liquid has a mass. Similarly, even the gas also has a mass. Okay, so all the three states of matter shows a property called mass. Okay, so what you write here is solids has a mass, liquids has a mass, okay, and gases also has a mass. Okay, and how do you know that gases has a mass or not? In the previous video I have shown a demonstration with balloons, isn't it? Empty balloon and blown balloon. Definitely blown balloon will have a more weight compared to the empty balloon. That means the gas is also having a mass. Okay, fine. And now let us discuss the property about the volume. Okay, so what do you mean by a volume? Volume is the space occupied by a matter. That space itself we call it as a volume. Okay, and this particular volume can be measurable. It can be measurable. Okay, using some instrument or using some data, we can measure the volume. Okay, so we say solids has definite volume. Solids has definite volume. Definitely no. Say this book is there. This is your book, and if I ask you a question, what is the volume of a book? Definitely you can able to measure and tell. You will. How do you measure the volume? Length into breadth. You have a formula. Yes or no? Length into breadth. If you do, you will get volume of a square actually. Okay, if something is there in a square, if you want to measure its volume, length into breadth, if you do, you get a value, isn't it? So if the volume is measurable, then we say it is definite volume. Okay, so definitely solids have a particular volume which you can easily measure it. Okay, so we say solids has definite volume. Okay, coming to the liquids, does liquid has a definite volume? Yes, Liquids also show definite volume. Definite volume. Okay. Say beaker with water. Beaker with water. If I ask you a question, how much amount of water is there? What is the volume of water? You can definitely measure it. Yes or no? You can see the gradings here. 25, 50, 75. You know, water level is exactly there between 50 and 75. That means it may be about 60 to 65. You have 60 to 65 ml of water here. Yes or no? You can perfectly measure the water. You can measure the volume of a water. Okay, so volume is also a measurable quantity in case of liquids. So what we say, liquids also has definite volume. Okay, fine. Now, does gases shows definite volume? Think it over. Can gases shows definite volume? Can you be able to measure the volume of a gas? Can you be able to measure the space occupied by a gas? Space is nothing but volume, isn't it? Can you be able to measure the space occupied by a gas? Say for example, see, I have got agarbattis, okay, so which is giving out gas. The stuff which is coming out in the form of a smoke from agarbatti is a gas. Okay, so how do you measure the space occupied by this gas? See, this gas is going everywhere. It has no direction, yes or no? Some amount of it is going this way, some amount is going this way, some amount is coming down, and you know, it is randomly moving. It is moving wherever it wants, and it is moving in a particular speed, yes or no? Okay, in a particular direction. Say if you want to measure the volume occupied by this gas or space occupied by this gas, you can't measure properly, yes or no? That means gases do not show definite volume. Okay, what is that? Do not show definite volume. Okay, you have to write do not show definite volume. Remember this, guys, this is very important. Okay, solids has definite volume, liquids has definite volume. That means their volumes you can easily measure, whereas the gases do not show definite volume. That means you cannot measure the exact volume of a gas occupied. Okay, and coming to the next property, shape. Definitely solids has a shape, has definite shape. Okay, solids shows definite shape, yes or no? Say book is there, book is a solid. You can easily say the shape of a book, right? Rectangle, or you know, it's in the form of square. Yes, so the shape easily you can talk with respect to the solid. Okay, and how about liquid's shape? Can you be able to tell about the shape of a liquid? Okay, if I ask you a question, what is the shape of this liquid? What is your answer? Do you have any answer for telling shape of this water which is present inside a beaker? It does not have a definite shape. The shape of a liquid is nothing but the shape of a container only. Okay, so here if I ask you what is the shape of water, you will tell the container's shape only as liquid shape. If I take water in a bowl, that water will occupy the shape which is exactly similar to the bowl. Yes or no? If I take a water in a big vessel, round vessel, okay, then shape of that liquid is nothing but shape of that round vessel only, right? So that means, what do you say here? Liquids do not have definite shape. Okay, what we will write here? No definite shape. Okay, but try to remember one point here. The shape of a liquid is nothing but shape of a container in which it is present. Okay, fine. And now gases have a definite shape? Never. Gases do not have a shape. Okay, so here also no definite shape. So this is about the property called shape. And coming to the property of density. So what do you mean by density? Density is nothing but heaviness. Okay, how heavy the matter is can be represented in terms of density. Okay, so density is nothing but what, children? Heaviness. Heaviness. Okay, heavy. Fine. Does solids are heavy? Definitely solids are more heavy. They are more heavier than liquids and gases. Yes or no? So what I will write here is solids shows high density. Solids shows high density. Okay, and how about liquids? Liquids are less denser than solids. Okay, they are less heavy. They are not as heavy as solids. Okay, little less heavy. So what I write here is less density. Liquids have less density. And what about gases? Least. Okay, very less density they will have compared to liquids and solids. Okay, so always solids are more heavy and liquids little heavy, and gases light in weight. Okay, they are lighter in weight. They are not at all heavy. That's why we have written density is least in case of gases. Okay, and coming to the next property, free surfaces. So what do you mean by free surfaces? It's a surface that you observe on a matter. Okay, solids can have any number of surfaces. That means you can't count the surfaces present in a solid. Say for example, I am taking this book. Okay, so how many surfaces this particular book has? This is one surface. This is another surface. This is a third surface. This is a fourth surface, fifth surface, sixth surface. Only 6. Does it has only 6 surfaces? No. If I open a book, this is one surface, this is another surface, again the next page, this is one surface, this is another surface, right? So many number of surfaces are available in this particular book. Okay, likewise, any particular solid can have many number of surfaces. Okay, so that is the reason we have written here any number of surfaces are shown by solids. Okay, and coming to the liquid. Okay, so water in a beaker is there. How many surfaces can you find in this water? Only one surface. Yes, say upper one. Only the surface that I can touch is the upper one. Okay, any other surface is possible? Never. Only one surface possible for the liquid, that is also upper surface. Okay, so only one surface. Only one surface, that too upper one. Upper layer is the surface for any liquid. That too if you are taking it in a bowl or any vessel. Yes or no? So only one surface is possible. Fine. And how about our gases? Gases, can you able to touch the surface of a gas? No, right? Gases will not have a surface at all. So what you will write? No free surfaces. No free surfaces. Okay, fine. And compressibility. What do you mean by compressibility? Applying pressure. Okay, so whenever you apply a pressure on something, if the shape and size changes, then we say, oh, the substance is getting compressed. Okay, so whenever you apply, say this is a chalk piece, I apply a pressure. Do you find any changes in the matter? Is it going down, or is the size of the chalk piece changing? No, right? That means solids do not compress. Okay, so when I apply a pressure, there is no change in the solid. Okay, there is no change in shape and size of a solid. Okay, it's not undergoing any change. It is there as it is when I apply a pressure. Okay, so what I say here is solids do not compress. Solids do not compress. Okay, they won't undergo compression. Means compression in the sense what? When pressure is applied, if it is going down or if it is getting condensed. Okay, if it is becoming very little or if it is size and shape is changing, then we call it as compression. Okay, so when you apply a pressure, how much ever pressure you apply, you know, it's not changing. That means solids normally do not compress. Okay, fine. And coming to the liquids, liquids can slightly get compressed. Okay, you can compress liquids but to a smaller amount, not to a greater amount. Okay, so liquids compress very little. Okay, slightly compressed. What I write here is slightly compressed. And the gases, highly compressed. Highly compressed. Okay, so you can imagine a cooking gas cylinder which we use it for cooking, LPG cylinders. Can you be able to tell me how much of gas may be there in that LPG cylinder? Say if you open that cylinder, if you open the knob of a cylinder, you know, gas will get released slowly. You know, it can occupy 3 to 4 big rooms. That much of gas will be there. That much of gas, they have kept it in a very small container. How? It is by applying lots of pressure. Okay, so with the help of pressure, so much of gas, they have kept it in one small container. Okay, that means gases can undergo compression to a greater extent. Okay, when you apply a pressure on a gas, you know, the gas molecules will come closer and closer. Okay, that is the reason so much of gas, you know, 3 to 4 rooms full of gas, they are keeping it in one small container, one small cylinder with the help of high amount of pressure. Okay, that is what we call compression. So gases can undergo compression to a greater extent compared to liquids and solids. Okay, so that is why we write highly compressible. Who are highly compressible? Gases. Okay, remember this. Coming to the last point, diffusion. So what do you mean by diffusion? Diffusion means it is the ability of a matter to move from one place to another and to get mixed with other substances easily. Okay, it is the ability of a matter to move from one place to other. After moving, after going to a neighbor place, how easily it is getting mixed with another matter. You know, that particular property, we will call it as diffusion. Okay, so do you observe any kind of diffusion in case of solids? Say I have broken the chalk piece. Now I have two matter. This is one matter, this is one matter. Can they move on their own? Can they move on their own? Never, right? And can they get mixed up nicely? No, right? That means you don't observe any diffusion in case of solids. So what do we write here? No diffusion. No diffusion. Okay? And how about liquids? Yes, when two liquids, say this is one liquid, another liquid, if I take it here, both of them when I mix it, do they mix up easily? Definitely. Okay, they will mix up, right? So, but not to a greater extent. Mixing will take place. Slight mixing may take place. Okay, so what we will write here is less diffusion. Diffusion is there. Definitely when two liquids are added with each other, they will get mixed up easily and they can move from one place to another. Everything is fine. Okay, so diffusion is there, but we say it as less diffusion. Less diffusion. Okay, until and unless you stir it, 100% two liquids will not get mixed up with each other. No, they will get mixed up. Maybe 20% of this liquid, 20% of another liquid get mixed up when I mix them. But 100% of the liquids, without your help, without stirring, they can't get mixed up, isn't it? So that is the reason we have written less diffusion. Okay, and now coming to the gas. Coming to the gas. Okay, imagine this is one type of a gas. This is another type of a gas. Are they moving on their own easily? Definitely. And when I keep it near, this particular gas is getting mixed up with this particular gas, no? Very much easily, and completely they are getting mixed up on their own without any external help. Okay, am I doing anything here to get them mixed up? No, right? When two liquids have to mix, we should stir it. Then only completely they will get mixed up. But see this gas, just on holding them near, they are getting mixed up on their own after going to a certain height. Isn't it? So this is called greater level of diffusion, higher level of diffusion. Okay, so gases gets diffused to a greater extent. Okay, so high amount of diffusion is observed where? In case of gases. Okay, so these are the important differences between solids, liquids and gases that you have to remember. Okay, so with this we have completed a topic called states of matter. So in the next video we will discuss the kinetic theory of matter. Till then, take care and thank you.